Yeah.
I'm not for abortion. I'm not against abortion. I'm for pro-choice. You should have the right to make the choice with your own body, you know?
What's going on? You tuned in for another episode of the All Points Podcast. You're tuned in with the freshest crew. This is Sam, a.k.a. the Supreme Squirt.
This is Kyle, a.k.a. Keep It On The Low.
Jonathan the Great.
Mailbox Money Midwest.
And Amazing Bars A2.
And we're here another day, another time and place here in America where rights are being snatched up like your stereo and a B&E.
Yeah. Our rights are still there, though. You know, since we're men.
Well, you know, I don't identify as a man, but sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm male presenting. But also, I like to suck dick, Kyle. Where do you think that's going? Uncle Sam's going to come up in the crib and bust the doors down and be like, hey, you better stop that. And then stick his thumb up my ass to break up the...
I don't think no one's going to stop
nephew Sam?
Nah, man. That's coming next.
Nephew Sam.
Yeah.
That's coming next.
But
You want to know why?
Why?
I mean, we can get into it.
I just want to set it straight before we get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, he put the
Oh,
emphasis
good.
on the-
Yeah.
I'm not for abortion. I'm not against abortion. I'm for pro-choice.
Right.
Like you have you should have the right to make the choice with your own body, you know? I would hate for someone to walk in on me and be like, "Hey, you can't pee standing up no more.
Well, but
You got to
why?
pee sitting
That'd
down."
Be an
But
okay thing.
it's my body though.
Look, you get to sit down.
It's a
I mean,
very
that's not
horrible
comparable,
analogy.
but
turn around.
Yeah.
If you turn around, you got a table behind you.
But if you're listening, today is Friday,
Black
whatever
Friday.
the fuck day is.
It's June 24th.
And the Supreme Court just, they overturned Roe v.
officially-
Wade?
I thought
Yeah.
Supreme Man it came with sour cream.
No. But yes, and we do suspect that they're going to make an attempt to go at gay marriages, gay rights.
Slavery.
If you'd like, I can give a quick breakdown.
Break it
of
down.
the
break it
facts
down.
that have happened today.
Ding, ding.
That way we can just get the facts out of the way, and then we can start giving our piece, our opinions, and we can start playing around with it.
Some
how,
I'm
we,
gonna play with it.
how we do.
Some people ain't from America, so they don't know what Roe versus Wade is.
So for those of you who are listening right now, strap in for like the next 10 or 15 minutes. This is going to be...
Maybe 30, depending on how angry I am.
It's going to be centered around that. Anyway, so for those of you who are not aware, Roe v. Wade was a landmark case that went up to the Supreme Court about 50 years ago that established the right nationwide for people to have abortions.
Legal and safe.
As of today, June 24th, 2022, Justice Sam Alito published an opinion of a 5-4 vote to overturn Roe v. Wade in the decision of Dobbs v. Jackson, eliminating 50 years of precedent. And in addition to this landmark decision that has gone down today that affects the rights of privacy, of body autonomy, of healthcare autonomy, and of women's rights in general, or, you know, just... We don't need to use gendered language, just specifically people who can get pregnant, their rights are at risk. Everything I just listed is at risk. And to further that, just staying on the facts, Justice Clarence Thomas published a concurrent opinion that says that he believes that the rest of the Supreme Court that he is on should now immediately reconsider all of the court's substantive due process precedents, including Griswold, Lawrence, and Obergefell. For those of you who don't know, those are the cases that have solidified access to contraception, same-sex relationships, and same-sex marriage.
So trying to take away our condoms?
No, stupid.
No, yeah, I mean, that too. That's literally, that had to be decided in court.
Right, to take away condoms.
Yes, the use of contraception, both in married and non-married couples, was decided in court.
Okay.
Like
world order.
this is a
know,
very slippery slope that we are now entering into.
The one thing that I was thinking about on the way here after thinking about this, what's the average age of these justices?
Old as fuck.
So they're old as fuck?
Yeah,
I don't want to
with
be
the exception of like Brett Kavanaugh.
Nah, be an ageist. No,
definitely be
but
ageist.
because not all the older people are like that. But
True.
these particular people and everything that are sitting up on there, I wonder if they're fucking. I really do wonder if they're fucking. Because if they're not, then it's like, And in the same vein, it's like these issues really don't affect you. So why are you the one that's up here and you get to make these decisions for everybody else? When
It's power and
doesn't-
control.
I guess so.
I mean, that's the position that they're in. I mean, you know, it's just like the same way that the previous court said that, you know, gay marriage was legal. You know, I mean, as far as consistency, you would have to think the same thing when it comes to that.
Well, I look at
But-
that. I don't want to cut you off, but I look at that in the same vein. It's just like for allowing gay marriages and allowing abortions and everything, that doesn't directly affect you.
of
But
course.
taking these things away, I mean,
that's-
granted, yes, it also doesn't affect you, but it also allowing it doesn't affect anybody out there,
Right.
But then taking these things away definitely affect people. It doesn't make sense.
And that's something that like I really feel like people need to really pay attention to is that Roe v. Wade wasn't specifically abortions. It had a lot to do with general healthcare autonomy, body autonomy, and privacy. Like at this point, you are allowing the government to have more control over what you do in your bedroom.
Yeah.
And I made a post earlier on Facebook. I was like, I think it's just hilarious how conservatives would be all about, you know, getting rid of big government while wielding big government to get their way.
Yeah.
Like it makes absolutely no sense.
They're the most confused party.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, without a doubt.
Well, listen. A doctor is not allowed to kill what they consider a baby, but if you have a gun,
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Well, that baby was a threat.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things that just really makes you kind of depressed. Not really. Well, yes and no. To live in America, just with the other side that are just here and they're way more vocal about shit. Just like, no, abortions are murder and everything. But in the same vein, like I said, they're all pro-gun and all that shit.
And-
when people are clearly going around and killing people, but they're like, no. Don't put any restrictions on
Yeah,
that.
because
And-
it was just a talking point. It was like the whole like saying was they were the dog that caught the car. You know, like they had been chasing the car for decades and they finally caught it. So now it's just kind of like that talking point is just gone.
and on what you were just talking about with, like the fact that it seems like there's just one side that's very vocal and the other is not as much.
Yeah.
Alex had to set me straight this morning because I was talking to him earlier and I was
I
talking
guess
about how
your
like
rights are protected.
well, I was talking to him earlier, and I was upset about the draft opinion was leaked over a month ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people
I
were
remember that.
upset for like a few days.
Yeah.
And then they passed protection for Supreme Court justices, so people like cooled off of being upset. And then of course everybody got distracted with, gun debates and then Ukraine.
Right.
And they kind of stopped worrying about Dobbs v. Jackson, I guess. But it's like you've had over a month to cause some change.
Yeah.
And in fact, some change did happen. The draft opinion that leaked, it was a 6-3 vote. And it came out today that it's 5-4. So I'm not saying that like it's guaranteed that if we raised up enough fuss that it would have switched. I'm just saying people really stopped caring until today. And now it's like back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like he said, that just gives more fuel to that fire and you can wield that anger towards actually
Yeah.
making change now.
Now that it's concrete and
Yeah.
we know like where this is going, then it's like, okay, now we need to move. And that's the other thing is like a lot of people don't really know about it, but on the 2nd of August, there's going to be a vote to amend the Kansas,
In our
Kansas
city,
Constitution.
yep.
Just
Yeah.
getting ready to
State.
ask you that. Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Political boys, educate me again.
Sure.
This is set in stone, so it's pretty much just done or whatever, or like I said, or is it kind of like state by state? You can pretty much vote whether you want to keep it.
Yeah, it's basically so. Like the idea was that it just kicked the rights back to the states, you know.
Yeah.
So then the states can decide if they're going to support abortions or if they're going to allow abortions.
right.
And
So
sorry.
no, go ahead.
And leading up to this point, 13 states in the U.S. had laws on the books that would effectively ban abortion in those states as soon as Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Yeah.
Missouri is one of those states that today abortion is banned.
Completely. Yeah. Yeah.
It's illegal.
I believe we can make a change though.
Absolutely.
And I'm very confident in this working, especially with the younger demo out here now. I think we need to radicalize and really encourage a lot of the fuckboys that are out here. Okay, if you get them pregnant, you cannot have an abortion. You got to stay with that bitch. All right. So,
God damn it.
you got to arm these people with the knowledge
God
to
damn
get out there and vote to make sure that abortions. I don't want to sound Canadian. Are still safe and legal. Am I wrong in this?
I mean, you're not.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, you're gonna have to raise all yours.
well, I'm saying though, or you can make it mandatory for them to get a vasectomy.
Hey, come on, chill, chill,
I
chill,
mean,
chill.
you know,
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
if you're gonna force somebody to carry out a pregnancy,
Hey,
Look, I am.
their body, their choice. All right, don't come over here with all that shit.
Of course, you would.
but no, and something that a lot of people, right, especially, so for the people who, I'm not gonna make everybody else give their like full on opinions of this shit, but just so it's established where I'm at, because I know I make a lot of like fucked up jokes here and there on the show, but
Keep 'em coming.
and I still will keep them coming. But where I stand politically, to me, Democrats are like on the right, in my view. Like it's a horrible measurement of actual like ideology. But if we were to use a political compass, for example, I'd essentially be in the bottom left.
Okay.
And so, coming from that perspective, the fact that Democrats in Washington today were just singing "God Bless America" in like quote unquote protest of this, it's like you're not fucking doing anything.
Yeah.
And there are things that still can be done. Like I'm so fucking tired of this defeatist attitude that so many people have.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of like I've heard people in my demographic, like my age group, already have this defeatist mentality, and it's like no.
Yeah.
No, like we can still make something happen. What the fuck are you doing?
You know, and if you would have talked to me about this last year, I definitely would have been opposed to it. Actually, I think I've said it before. But there's always been that talk of like packing the court,
Yeah.
like adding justices and whatnot. And I would have said no, because you do have to have some faith in the system. And if people aren't checked into it or they don't have any kind of faith in it, then that's when shit falls apart. But I just read a poll that said like 1 in 4 Americans have faith in the Supreme Court. So when you have those kind of numbers, you add justices, that's probably going to add faith in the court, so then it balances it back out. So I don't know. I'm still a little bit on the fence, but I'm more on the side of like, you know, if they did it, it wouldn't be such a bad idea. And on top of that, that would prevent them from, you know, pushing through all of this bullshit that they plan on doing.
And I mean, just to look at it objectively, you really only have 2 real paths forward. There's you either impeach some Supreme Court justices.
I mean,
Not going to happen.
yeah, of course.
Or you pack the courts. That is still unlikely, but it's more likely than impeachment.
Right.
And it opens the doors to that progress and to
I got
that
a
change.
third option. But
Oh, what's that?
I'm not gonna say it.
Can't
Service.
legally say it.
Yeah.
Some
I'm not
ballot of
gonna
the bullet type shit.
Yeah, wait, hey, whoa. Hang my no.
It's crazy how much power they have. The Supreme Court.
Well, I mean, over the decades, I mean, it really has been conservatives trying their hardest to get that shit hijacked, and especially like it was during the Obama administration when Mitch McConnell was like refusing to allow,
with Gorsuch.
with Gorsuch,
Or with, not Gorsuch,
No,
with
no.
Garland.
with Garland, because Mitch McConnell was refusing to allow Obama to
And then once
have his
Trump-
appointment, and was like, we have to. It's too close to the election, and then just let Trump have a fucking field day.
Yeah.
And then just rammed Barrett through. Like,
Yep.
you know. Yeah, so that's what I mean is like, if the right is going to play games with the Supreme Court and shit like that, and you know what they're going to do with it, the best thing you can do to protect people. Because again, abortion, like support for abortion is like 60 something %. So the majority of the country does support having access to it.
Yeah.
So to protect people, to protect the country, and the whole idea of like, well, we'll just add more justices. It's like, okay, well then we'll just add more.
Yeah.
Because the justification for them adding justices is that, oh, well, you did it, rather than, we're going in line with the majority of the country. So
That's what I was kind of wondering. Like, why the hell don't we just vote on a lot of these issues? Just like, what is the most?
Because the popular vote doesn't do anything. Because as time continues on and on, conservatives are allowed to redraw districts. They're allowed to pass things that
but look at it like
erode voters' rights.
You know, voting for the president and everything like that. You know, when they tally all those up versus like the electoral college and all that shit or whatever the fuck, just by the people who want to vote for these things or who want these things to be in the country. I don't understand why we don't just go with that. Like if there's 5 people in the room and we're basically representing different people in the country or anything like that. If we're like, hey, who wants pizza tonight? And 3 of us are like, yeah, I want pizza. And it's like, all right, well, fuck it, we're having pizza.
Because it's
You
a
run with the
very
majority.
tricky thing to make that reform, especially with the way Congress is
You know,
leaning.
when I burn down the government and reform it in my image,
The views of Jonathan Krigler does not.
Is that-
Podcast.
is that-
Terroristic threats
no,
right
it's
there,
not.
buddy.
No, because they.
But but you do bring up a very important point because conservatives have not won a popular vote in almost 40 years.
because they have terrible ideas.
But the thing is, and I was just in, to be the devil's advocate, with states that are like the smaller states, for example, they have to have some sort of buy-in to the union.
Of course.
They have to have some reason to be participatory in the system.
But let me ask you
So-
why. Like I'm not disagreeing with you.
Well, because
I want that reason put out there.
It's the same reason as like say the way that DC doesn't have like any representation.
Right.
If all you have is representation, that means nothing.
Right.
Then what reason would somebody in Wyoming who just every year is just like, well, I wish that I had a voice here. Like the idea is to like give the most amount of people voices, like to be able to like, give some input to the country.
Right.
But you take that away from people, then they're not going to participate. Now, for me, that would be good because then that means it would be more left leaning, and then we would actually get things done.
Right.
But
I think that fucker in Wyoming should just move to Texas and have his voice heard.
we're just
And-
gonna move
and
everybody
then-
out of Wyoming.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there. Go secede or whatever. Fuck out of here.
But then
We're
it's,
gonna use it as a parking lot.
But then it's like on the counter of that argument, there's the fact that if the way things are set up right now with the Electoral College, if it is so easy to manipulate that the minority of the country has been allowed to fix things in their favor and take away the vote in a lot of states, completely take the vote away from black voters. Like that's egregious and it's completely fucking like because in that instance it's like, well, black people are the minority of the country, but shouldn't they have
Absolutely.
a voice?
Sometimes.
And so like that's kind of the flip side of that.
Well,
niggas don't vote.
the problem is though is that and I'm gonna just be real, like Democrats don't appeal to like rural voters at all. They don't even try and go out there. Like
Right.
they don't go out there and try to talk to people because like I said, I could talk to any conservative and I can find like some middle ground and pretty much just make them agree on some things.
How do you talk to them though? Because that's really the issue.
Well, you got to talk to them like they're people.
Oh. I thought you were gonna go. You gotta talk to them. Ooga booga. I was like, man, this guy's good.
Well, if you want to speak their language, you can do that. But no, it's the kind of thing that like, okay, so when I talk to people like about like trans shit and they're like conservatives, generally like the best argument that I get is like, well, okay, and this is again talking their language. I usually ask them, do you like fake tits? Because they talk about like, you shouldn't modify your body and you shouldn't, and you were born like this. It's like, okay, but you like big titties, don't you? And it's just like, okay, so you have no problem with that because this obviously wasn't how this woman was made. This wasn't how God made her.
Fuck you, man. You gotta, hey,
Yeah,
you
but
like some fake
again,
titties?
but that's how you gotta
I do.
talk
They're
to
gonna
them.
come with a dick, like,
Well, what I'm saying,
you gotta compromise.
what I'm saying though is like it's the same sort of concept where it's like somebody sees themselves
Holy
as
shit.
like
I'm sorry, because you just I blew my mind on that one too, stupid. Because that, oh man, no.
It's the best of both worlds. You know it is.
That's what I'm saying.
You know it is. Just
That's what I'm
say
saying.
it. It's the best of
That's what I
both
was
worlds,
like,
man.
We're gonna they're gonna take away contraception. Well, no, because they want to get rid of gay rights and all that shit.
Yeah.
So, but man, the workaround. No, never mind.
Yeah,
disregard me because if it's a bunch of trans, you're gonna be nutting in butts anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But like that's the other thing too, dog, is when it comes
no
to
kids can come out of that. Come
when it comes to the whole like same-sex relationships ruling as well, because you're talking about and to go back to what you're saying about talking to the fuckboys, you really got to talk to the fuckboys there
Yes.
because included in that is sodomy. And what is sodomy by definition?
Amazing.
Anything that's
Oh, my
not a dick and a pussy.
My bad.
So that means blowjobs
Hey.
out the window. You're not gonna get your dick sucked anymore.
See,
Nah, dog.
it's terrible.
I'm so mad at how quickly you said that. He's like, what is sodomy? Amazing.
What do you want me to do? Does it feel good for you? No. I mean, yes. Big Black Sack. Go back and watch that.
Anyways, yeah. That's all I'm saying is that, you know, we've got to appeal to more people who, because like you could talk to the same people and talk about like unions and whatnot, and they'll generally agree. The only things that people like really have a problem with Democrats is generally like the abortion thing, and that's not a talking point anymore. So it's just like Democrats aren't trying to appeal to these people.
No.
And the other thing too is I think that a lot of people need to get out of cities and go to those rural areas.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't do it. Fuck that.
Yucky. That's like going to Haze.
Haze worse.
Ugh.
But no, man, if you are in Kansas listening, July 12th is the deadline to register to vote.
9,
Yep.
8, 7. Oh, keep going.
Are we boring you, Kyle?
He's like, hey, we're gonna do a commercial.
I was just wait for you to finish.
Anyway, July 12th is the deadline to register to vote. August 2nd is the vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're sharing that shit around. If you know family who's not registered yet,
I'm not registered.
catch them up to speed
registered.
on everything that's happened. Give them the information and get them registered by July 12th.
At least, you know, we can keep it the same where here we won't have to worry about an abortion ban.
Yeah.
Until the legislature does some fuck shit, because they probably will.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the crazy part about this shit, it's like, why would you want? I mean, I get it, but
Because
increasing, yeah, but it's like people they really can't afford to live anyway because the wages aren't going up, rent's going up. Why would you want to increase the population even further?
I put that on like Malcolm's page because he said something about that.
There was a bunch. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
Get my tinfoil hat on, but.
That's 20 minutes in. All right.
Sorry, Kyle. Sorry.
But anyways,
I gave that
like I
20
said,
minutes.
get registered and vote on August 2nd and vote no. Vote no. Then they did try to pull some fuck shit.
Can I just vote no and then leave, or do I have to do all the other votes?
You can vote for whatever you want. It's not mandatory to do everything. But you probably should look into the other shit too. Because that could be like, you know, voting for
All I know
you want
is
slavery to stay illegal?
No.
Well, I mean,
There you
technically,
go.
slavery is still allowed. You just have to be in prison,
True.
All I know is
which would explain why the crack. Anyway,
I just
we already had
found
20
out-
minutes of politics, and Kyle's bored. So, hashtag
I was waiting for
fuck
our.
three
I
fingers.
want our fans to come back.
All right.
I'll just,
All right. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. All right,
no,
let's go.
We still got
Hey!
9 more minutes.
But he just found out about something.
Where's my notes at?
Jesus fucking Christ!
So you
Anyway,
tried to
I
cut off
found
the whole-
out.
All right.
I found out that our great governor,
Kelly?
Kelly, took off taxes on groceries. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah, I knew
Old
about that.
news, and it's
Yeah.
not all at once. It's over. a certain
Yeah,
amount
but
of
it's
years.
coming.
Wait. So you're telling me, Kyle, you just wanted to skip past the political
This nigga
segment
want to get his
Get to the political
just
tomahawk
to talk
steaks.
about more political shit? That's old news.
tomahawk steaks with less sales tax on it.
Yeah, that's what he
Yes, I do get my
So
steaks.
what is it? It's fully at its low as what, like 2024?
I don't know, but I just thought that was pretty cool. We're not going to be able to pay. We don't have to pay taxes on food.
You know what would be some fucked up shit though?
What?
Is if like, what is it? I think it's Kobach who's she's running against this cycle. What if Kobach wins and then he like revokes that? He's like, yeah,
man.
damn, Democrats trying to take away taxes.
I hate politics. I'm sorry.
Further anything on that?
He hates politics unless it's related to groceries.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. Our Arizona iced tea is going to be 99 cents.
not in Canada. You see that?
It's like $1. It was like
$1.40.
Yeah, I was like
So-
$1.40.
I was like, damn.
Wait.
It said
Canada?
99 cents on the
Arizona?
can.
Yeah.
No, it's $1.29, but it translates to 99 cents.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, even just gas up there is like $6 right now.
Yeah, it sucks for them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We enjoyed our Arizona iced tea. 99 cents, baby.
Fuck out of here.
Well, no, I'm saying
Yo,
never mind.
you know what? The whole thing about the Jewel thing, where, you know, they were banning it. We should just get a bunch of Arizona iced tea and then sell it for $1 up
I don't
there.
think it's that
No,
good.
no, it's still the same price.
No, what I mean is $1 Canadian.
But then you're losing money.
No,
no.
listen, okay?
Just-
We're
okay,
going
I know
up
what you
there,
mean. Okay,
buying
my
it
bad.
for
I didn't know this
99
was a
cents
bit.
here.
Okay.
And then we're going up there and selling for $1.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It's basic economics.
A Canadian dollar?
Nah.
All right.
Anything else going on in the world that we want to talk about?
Let's talk
This
about
first
those
half-
steaks, man. You know,
We're not talking about
Trump
steaks.
I don't know, bro. I don't want to get into it for
Let's
fear
get
you
our
cutting me
mango.
off again.
I'm not going to cut you off. I'm just,
He was just eager. He was eager to get off of that. It's all good, Kyle. You know what? I understand.
No,
I understand.
Sometimes you got to sit back and just let you guys talk because you learned something. You see, I didn't say nothing that whole segment. I didn't want to say
the whole
nothing.
time, the only thing going through your brain.
I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing ignorant because that was Jonathan's job. So sometimes you just gotta sit back and let y'all talk because you learned something.
And that's what I said when motherfuckers be like, "Oh, he doesn't talk." I'm like, "Hey, man, y'all got the floor.
You gotta let them talk.
No, I'm just learning."
I learned something.
He was like, "What's explained ain't got to be understood."
Not on this episode. Y'all had to explain. Y'all had to explain a lot. But
Nah, man, we can add a little addendum at the beginning of the episode, just like
nothing.
no, you just be like, skip to the commercial break.
No.
And then we can separate it.
No.
Commercial break. I don't think people should, but you know.
Nah, you know.
All right,
What?
well, anyways, let's go to fucking commercial break. So
It's not time. Why y'all keep wanting to go to commercial
Because
break?
we're not talking about anything right now except stuff that we
I
would
just
normally
wanna
be
say
talking
thank
about on a
you
break
guys.
or before the
Thank you guys for
podcast
educating
or
me
after.
and probably educating our doofus fans.
I think you underestimate our fans.
I do.
Actually, we don't have fans, our listeners.
My girl
Okay.
be listening, so she's not doofus.
We got some smart
And
fans. We got some smart
she-
listeners, dog.
I'm sure she cares about her body autonomy.
Oh, definitely.
And you were ready to rush her off. You're a fucking
Was I?
Republican. You know what? I'm walking out the second time.
You know what? Jonathan Krigler is the patriot of our time.
Hey,
Let's go to commercial break.
what did Mr. Wilson say when Dennis got mad at y'all? He was like, "And don't you ever come back."
I don't know. But this show's falling apart, so we're going to take a quick commercial break and regroup. We'll be right back to the All Points podcast. And we're back to the All Points podcast.
We can have conversations on the side if we want to. All right?
I'm still trying to get rid of
We
it.
just had a big conversation on for the Patreon.
Chicken noodle
that shit
soup
was
for
great.
the
I
Midwest soul.
That shit should come out in some capacity.
The stuff
That was
that
fucking
happens
God.
during our commercial breaks. We should make them YouTube shorts.
Nah, that shit was good.
The stuff that happens during our commercial
you
breaks.
Can ask all the women I've been with. They had to deal with it.
Whoa.
When
All the women you've been with.
How many
reoccurrences.
How many
been
women
with
have you
women?
been with Midwest?
While you were sick? You hootie patootie.
We need to clear,
hootie
'cause,
patootie.
listen, we're talking about shit that y'all have no context for. Because now it just sounds like he's out here giving these women STDs. Nah, he had a sinus
They better
infection.
not have Geico.
A chronic sinus infection.
Midwest had a sinus infection. That's what we're talking about. All right, we're up to speed.
Yeah, that's all you
Right.
need to know.
No, because like here it's like we come back from the commercial break. You don't believe me? You can ask all the women I've been with.
Hey, man, it's summer's here.
They had to deal with my
you know.
disease.
So,
I act like a baby when I get sick.
Yeah,
What
man.
it is.
Hey, man.
have you guys?
I act like a baby. I do.
I am a baby.
Bro, I be acting like
Yeah, I'm over here.
I be acting like I'm fucking dying, bro.
Yeah.
Cause like when
This
you get like
episode is crazy.
when you get like the flu or like some real bad sickness, you get like the fever and the chills.
Yeah.
So like I be in bed with the blanket up on me, and I'm like,
They like Michael Jackson. This is it.
You be all wrapped up, swallowing everything. She just come plop a titty in your face and in your mouth.
Man, that's luxury.
That's amazing.
nah,
You know,
man.
I gotta drag myself downstairs.
Well, if you could commit to one woman, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
But yeah, oh wait, look,
You out there? This.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
All right.
he already
I ain't
hashtagged
gonna
the
say
summer is his. So
I ain't gonna say it.
I mean, you know, but it
you-
is.
That's terrible. When it comes to
he's a student of the summer is mine.
I feel you. No,
when it
listen,
comes
I
to
told you,
he is
I
though.
Valedictorian of
told
the
you.
summer is mine.
I was born in it.
Crash
you were,
course.
when it comes to trying to put the whole hootie patootie thing on people, we always tell them that the summer is theirs. I already put it on you, and then you just put it on him.
Hey, it's like, man, we need to teach a WSU course called "The Summer Is Mine."
Yeah, bro.
Summer school.
We're gonna have Midwest tonight at the front of the class. We're the professors.
Yeah, you got to come in with the tweed jacket though.
But you're like the TA.
Hey, can I be the
I
janitor?
see you.
No,
I
he need
see
to get
you.
a course at WSU.
Hell no.
Misogynistic.
Nah, that's Kyle.
No, it's not
Both
me.
of y'all.
No, he was
It's
just
not
talking
me.
about
Y'all
on the
can go
break.
back and forth like y'all do on the turntable.
On the break, he was just talking about beating bitches up.
No, I was
and
not.
kicking them down the
Pushing
stairs.
hoes
No,
down
I
the
was
stairs.
not.
Yes, he
You know,
was.
You know what's
You
great?
know how I know
No.
that's a fact? Because that's not the first time he used that joke. He said that joke like way back in 2017, 2018.
Fucking equal rights get less.
60 episodes ago. Said equal
He
rights,
say
equal
that.
He
left.
got
Yeah.
abusive bones in his body.
No, I don't.
Get away from him. Get away, Abby. Get away.
Why you gotta say her name on the show?
Run for your life.
Why you gotta say her name on the show?
Bleep it out. Whatever.
Man, just creating work for me.
Because nobody knows you and nobody knows
Wednesday.
I thought you were an open book.
The great part
Wednesday.
is you could have acted like it was a fake name.
Wednesday, I started therapy, y'all.
Wow, good job.
Yeah,
Working
I
on
did.
You could have just paid me. I could have told you.
No.
I gave you the game.
No.
You could have laid down on that couch. You could have been sitting here.
Right.
Wednesday, I started therapy.
Yeah.
What kind of therapy?
Personal
Physical.
person therapy, I guess.
It's personal therapy.
Like
but you wanna talk about it
psychology
here?
therapy. No, I'm just saying.
So you're
like,
crazy.
How many days a week?
I mean, it was my first time going. I might
They
go
ain't
back.
give you a schedule?
I might go back like next week. I can go whenever I want to go.
Okay.
costs. How much it
So,
costs?
so it was a one and done kind of
For
deal.
me, it's just a $25 copay. That's it.
All right,
shit,
hold
really?
on, hold on,
I
hold
got
on.
good insurance.
Uninterrupted,
Uh huh.
unfiltered. The Kyle Holly therapy story. Go ahead.
I mean,
Go ahead and talk about it.
personal.
We just
she
won't
was,
interrupt.
No, she was cool.
My open
You know,
book is
my
closed.
therapist is cool. She was happy. She's black. She was happy that a black male was in therapy. So
Yeah.
got to talking about my life in my childhood. And it was cool. I recommend people do therapy.
Did you cry?
If your insurance allows it.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
That's the number one.
It's
Yeah,
expensive.
you could have paid me.
But if your insurance allows it, I say take that opportunity, go do therapy.
No, I'm
figure
agree
out
with
your
you.
problems.
I'm agree with you. Yeah, I think a lot of people should take therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that stigma around it where it's like you taking therapy, you're immediately like crazy
Crazy.
or some
Yeah.
shit like that. Like that needs to go.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you.
Hey man, just trying to better. Like I said, to Eugene, how the summer be in mind. I'm trying to better my body, my mind, my soul. All that.
You trying to get the glow. I see
I'm trying.
young
Yeah,
fella.
I'm trying to get all that.
Your hair about to go Super
So,
Saiyan. You
I
about to get the
mean-
glow.
Yeah.
What
so
what motivated you to go though?
A woman. A vagina. Vagina. Vagina
No.
moves.
no,
Vagina makes
No.
the world go round. That's
No.
what it comes down to.
no.
That nigga never came to the west side. Never came to the west side. Only time he came to the west side was to move my couch. Outside of that, he ain't been back.
I frequent with the West Side
Yeah.
quite frequently. Before
Or to swim in
then.
my pool.
No, that was one time.
You ever just sit down with him and just watch a game?
Who, Eugene?
Oh,
Even I
I
did
did that.
Man, me and Eugene have
Man, I did
solo
that.
sessions.
Hey man, we had to deal with the TV going out.
I was about to.
Me and Gene, we go way back.
Said
What are you
pause.
talking about? No, but I've always wanted to do therapy. The situation that I was going through in life kind of made me want to do it even
Just
more.
so happened a little coochie moved you in the right direction.
It kind of like sped
And
up the process of you getting there.
the person that I'm with currently recommended it, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it. So I'm doing it now.
Well, that's what's up, man.
But I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you.
I know I know there's some deep rooted stuff wrong with me.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to figure it
start
all
from your
out.
childhood and adolescence,
Yes.
affect who you are today.
Yes,
A lot of people don't realize that.
it does.
That's
It
one of those
does.
things that, like, honestly, for myself, I've always thought that, like, I'm just good, and I still feel that same way. But I do wonder what therapy session would do for me, though.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
You know?
Like, it was the first session, so I didn't really have like a breakthrough or nothing like that. But like, she did kind of try to connect the dots and stuff like that. I'm a lot like my dad. I just put up with stuff.
We could have told you that.
Yeah. But like,
It's all about perspective.
yeah,
and
I'm curious where it's gonna take me.
like giving you a different lens to look through that you can't physically look through.
Yeah, of
yourself.
course.
Like, oh, I never thought of it that way.
Because it's different. So basically, it's different. Talking to you guys. Like, I basically told my therapist the same story I told you guys.
5,
So it's like,
6, 7, 8.
but it's like, it's telling to a stranger who doesn't know you and can't judge you or base their feelings or response off of like what they know about you. It's kind of relaxing. It's different.
It's like a safe space.
Yeah, because I'll sit there and say something crazy to y'all about what happened.
Pussy.
Y'all gonna
Like 21 Savage.
y'all gonna always, take my back. At least I hope.
Nah.
But
Nah, man, whenever you talking about shit, I ask you questions.
oh yeah.
You're
when
like,
I talk-
I feel this way. I'm like, well, do you think that's a good thing?
But then that's another thing. Like people around you, you don't really validate what they say. Like,
Yeah, you don't give a shit about my opinion.
their response doesn't give you validation. So you feel like, oh, because this person's licensed and they went to school, that their information they give you is golden. So you're like, I'm approve. This is gonna mean more to me because like I could say something to somebody, it might have no effect on them.
Yeah.
Some random stranger can repeat the exact thing as me verbatim, and then all of a sudden they'll go with that. So it's like, why does it mean more coming from a different person?
I'm not saying what my therapist tells me is I'm taking it to heart, but I thought it was kind of funny that she slipped up and called my ex a heifer. I thought that was kind of funny.
Why would you say that on the mic?
I thought it was funny. but
Damn.
Yeah.
but
Kyle's therapist trying to slide in.
Honestly,
what am I paying you?
I was
for?
already your therapist. You just don't listen to real nigga advice. So
What was your advice
I've
again?
already given.
Yeah, man. Your new therapist ever give you donuts?
No, I bought them
bought the
donuts.
donuts.
Well,
He was just there for the ride.
No, I was there to be
Never
something
mind.
to be talked to. That was it.
But yeah,
'Cause-
go
Good.
a lot of people tell you what you don't want to hear, so you just disapprove of it. But like I said, if somebody else is saying stuff that's been told to you before from the people around you, including friends and family, then it's not new information. You kind of known a lot of this
Honestly,
stuff from day one.
no one's ever told me anything that everyone else has already told me.
When niggas tell you not to marry that bitch.
I highly doubt that. I can guarantee you that some of your stuff. I mean, I guarantee you that some of the stuff is that she's told you. I'm pretty sure I got those same, perspectives that maybe I've never got a chance to tell you, just because you might be standoffish. You might be to yourself. You might not even be willing to step up to the plate to get some of this Midwest game.
You could never.
All right, well, we're gonna take it off Kyle.
No, y'all can never tell me nothing.
Is there
that I won't-
anybody else in the room has
Actually-
something that they would want to tell themselves?
Well, really
Let's
quick.
have a self therapy session.
He's being sarcastic.
Before we take it off, Kyle, remember 2017? Back at the pretzel spot?
Yeah.
Or was it 2016?
I don't
Whatever
know.
year it was.
It was a good year.
16. This man invites me. Then he comes back to work and says, "You're uninvited from the wedding." And without hesitation, I was like, "Don't worry, Doug. I'll make it to your next one."
It's a legendary line.
that was a. He did say that.
And that's
Yeah.
then when he started.
I'm gonna hold it.
That's
to
what it
him.
was.
So that's what
That's
started.
when I started killing motherfuckers.
and having his cause and effect.
Jinx my whole life. Hey,
So he did kill something else.
Hey man, I'm on a roll, baby.
that was an awkward conversation to have with you too. I felt bad doing that.
Nah, it's whatever, man. Like I said, make it to your next one.
Yeah,
There was a couple people I wish would
Water under the bridge.
But
Sam, you've been a sniper for forever.
Hey man.
the good thing is I didn't have to pay for none of that.
Well, there you go. Is that why you still keep in contact with him?
Damn. No.
You be inviting him out to brunch.
Probably bought him fireworks to come pick up for him and Pharaoh.
Damn.
Go ahead and pop these with the young fella.
That's too bad.
So there's this new flower shop here in Wichita. Did you guys see that?
You buying flowers now?
It's called Grow.
No.
It's like a plant shop.
You sure it's a flower shop?
It's a plant shop, I guess.
Yeah, it's a plant shop.
It's
alright.
called Grow, but inside it has a bar where you can buy like alcoholic beverages.
Alcoholic what?
Alcoholic beverages.
There we go.
And I went to it on Thursday with my
Thirsty Thursday.
girlfriend,
You thirsty?
and we had a good time. We had a good time. When I walked in there, it felt like I wasn't in Wichita because this looked like it felt like something that Wichita just shouldn't have. It felt like it was in a different city. Like it was pretty cool. There's like plants everywhere, and there's like an alcoholic bar. People can get drinks and stuff. And
Let me guess, you didn't drink anything because I don't like the.
I wasn't there for that. I was there for the flowers and the plants. But they had to like build your own. What is it? Terrarium? Is that the correct term?
terrarium?
Terrarium. Yeah.
Terraria.
whatever. We made like a custom like plant thing. We put we put a cactus and a succulent in it. And we customized it, and it was pretty cool. It got me thinking. I was like, usually I get mad at things like this because I was like, Wichita always getting stupid stuff. But this time I wasn't.
That's because you got new lenses now, man. You're like, I'm relationship Kyle.
Yeah. You made it there because of why? Why?
Well, she was in the plant. She's in the plant, so
That's why
I definitely wouldn't have went there on my own.
Smell the aroma, you're gonna follow the trail.
But be like, for the longest time, I've always hated roller derby. But now that I see she's playing it, you know what? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, he never liked playing basketball. I've been, all of a sudden, hey, let's go get a ball and go to the court.
No.
And all of a sudden, he's a hooper.
I wonder if
I'm more or less will ask you if you want to go fishing.
Anything.
Don't be denying it, Kyle. You better keep it a buck because this is hunting season.
He gonna start growing dreads. I know. Like, hey, he got dreads now.
No, but
Nah, man.
Likes the way it looks.
I was like, this is pretty cool, and it made me wonder. It made me think about like we should get like more stuff like this because I hope it lasts. It's one of those things that like
You getting old.
I'm pretty sure white people's going to support it, but it can also fail and not be here next year.
You mean like the axe throwing shit?
Yeah. Like
Have you gone?
No, I ain't been yet. I don't know. I don't see the appeal of that. To be honest with you,
Until you try it.
but it's like
it could ricochet and come back to it.
Exactly.
Everybody's scared of that, but that's like a very, very rare occurrence.
No, my thing is how you throw it.
How do you throw it?
Well, like how I've seen people throw, like you overhead, and like you're also drinking, and like what if your grip? You lose grip and you throw it back and it just accidentally falls out your hand. Like that's like scary.
You can always not drink there.
Yeah, man, that's your own choice.
That's like
And besides-
golfing without drinking.
And besides,
But-
only
Like
amateurs,
drinking and going hunting.
only amateurs do it overhead. All right.
So hey,
If you're a real thrower, you do it with that right hand. Just
speaking of things that could fail and not be here next year,
me.
NFTs.
Oh yeah,
So
they're here forever.
well, there's a conversation that needs to be had around that.
We're about to have one.
Specifically about. Well, yeah, we're about to have one. I'm trying to like change the subject. We went. The first half of the show is politics, and the second half is the life and times of Kyle.
No,
we went from
y'all
politics
bickered.
to
Y'all argued
plans.
for like 10 minutes.
Politics to plans. We pushing P today.
But no, so
what that means?
recently, and by recently it was this morning as the recording of this episode.
Yeah.
Two legendary names in hip hop released a music video, a collaborative effort in which they employed their bored apes, their NFTs, as central figures.
Yeah.
As central figures in the music video.
Who were the two artists?
Snoop Dogg and Eminem.
Snoop Dogg and Eminem.
They released a new song. What was it called? It's like, I don't know, From the D to the LBC or some shit. Point is a whole music video using their NFTs. What does that mean?
It means that they're going to be the first, and
Well, they're not the first.
Are they not?
Well,
They're the first major artists, but they're not the first artists to do it.
my thing is it really?
Some local rapper from some city back in like December of last year.
It's got to be from Wichita.
No, it wasn't
Yeah, I
Wichita.
did some like-
It was like Memphis or some shit.
But my thing is, okay, what's the definition? What does NFT stand for?
Non-fungible token.
Jigs, you all owe me a soda.
All I heard was anyway. So what does that mean? That basically means you have exclusive rights to whatever you just bought, right?
Sure, yeah.
So like, is it really an NFT if it's on YouTube where it's like anybody can just view it? Like, unless like someone was like, I own this music video now.
No,
I'm curious.
There's a difference between making the whole video an NFT and using your NFTs in a video.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so okay.
It's basically saying this particular. Think of it kind of as like a copyright or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
like,
you're saying that some non-famous person did this first, and now they're complaining that their idea got ripped off or something?
no, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is so Snoop Dogg and Eminem, I would say they're both regarded as like legendary status, but they're also old.
Yeah.
And so like I'm wondering if that will either bolster Bored Ape Yacht Club or if it will make them look less appealing. It's like, now the old dudes are playing around with their monkeys.
Maybe it's just marketing because they were beefing because Snoop Dogg said something about Eminem.
Yeah.
They were going back and forth, and now they're friends again and they're collaborating.
Didn't they perform at the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, they did.
but
They had already squashed their beef by that point, and it wasn't really even a beef. It was just.
I mean, the media makes everything a beef.
It was just Snoop Dogg saying that he prefers 80s and 90s rap to anything Eminem's put out.
Why do people care when old people be complaining about new stuff?
We're
Because
old people now.
like I said on the last episode,
You did say it on the last episode.
they want the world to be the same, but life
Yeah.
is about change
Yeah.
and evolution and adapting. So it's just like you want to be stuck in your ways and still want to use pay phones that don't exist no more. Like use a smartphone, bro.
And
Well,
that's
that-
why
that comes
I
down
think
to-
we should burn down the government. And shut the fuck up.
Say that on the
You're
show.
gonna get investigated.
Stop
versus-
down
saying that on the show.
and
no.
restructured it in my image.
What I was gonna get at is I feel like I forget what the company is that made the Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's like Yucca Labs or some shit. I think this is could potentially be huge for them. The only reason why I say that is because if you get more big, like Future also has a Bored Ape, like he also has one, and
I
so
didn't know they had names.
and so I'm just like, what if these big artists start making music videos with their apes or whatever else they got, and
Urban apes.
and then it's like you get to this point where the ape is attached to the person so much that like they are like one and the same, to the point where now you have this new avenue for record labels to release posthumous content and music videos using their Bored Apes. Because then it's like, look at that. You get to forever have music videos with this artist releasing new music.
You could see that happening. You know, I mean, again, for labels, well, the label probably wouldn't be able to do it.
The estate, right? Because like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson's estate is still releasing new shit.
But like I think so like the value of that particular monkey.
Sounds weird.
But
As soon as the man behind the monkey died,
but like the particular value of that one is probably going to go up because it was associated with this
Right.
person.
Yeah.
So that in a sense can sort of be like market manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that would drive artists to do that.
yeah.
Dang, if Michael Jackson had an NFT monkey, it'd be Bubbles.
It would have been.
Oh no, not Bubbles.
You know, it's crazy though. It's just, it's not super crazy, but gorillas would they be, NFT video or whatever?
I could see him doing it.
Well, but they're already
Interesting.
animated and all that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yo, we NFT the gorillas.
what?
We make
that's
the
interesting.
gorillas NFTs.
I'm just picturing you saying, "Yo, we NFT the gorillas," and then it's a black title card screen. It's like the gang NFTs the gorillas.
What do they do when they go on tour? Is this a
idea.
giant screen or is
Probably.
the actual band members out there
Nah,
performing?
it's a giant screen and then they play the music, but it's like a live version of their music. Yeah, it's a kind of dope experience. I would go.
Yeah.
And then when they get the little Tupac, that hologram shit going, that's done.
Yeah.
I saw the music video that Sam's talking about, and my only question is Snoop Dogg is an open crip. And he always talks about cripping and all that gang stuff.
Bro, you now have his monkey throwing up Crip.
But why was
Like,
he
it
wearing
happened.
red? Was there like
it
a
doesn't-
gang member meeting that I
Doesn't
missed?
matter, dude. I mean,
I thought it does matter.
It's not like
it
they
don't
put on
matter.
red and they
Nipsey
start
Hussle
burning.
wore red jumpsuits. I mean, like,
But like, how can you wear red and
that's
just be
not that
like
serious.
talk
Like,
about
90s.
Chris?
it evolved.
It's
That's
not-
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. If you stuck in the old gang culture from back in the day,
I just
then yeah,
thought-
they only wore their own color. But in
I
this
didn't
day and
know.
era,
That's why you got
Yeah.
a dude named Blueface Baby, but he's with Whack 100.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
like
Whack 100
this-
blood or something?
yeah.
we're living in a post South Park Jimmy and Timmy when they brought the Crips and Bloods together. So that's
And it made purple.
I mean, come on.
committed.
I guess I don't know because like I just thought that's
let
how
me put it
gangs
this
were.
way. If you are
Keyword were.
if you are
New era.
if you're unfamiliar with anything going on in gang culture,
Yeah.
stay your ass out.
I don't want to be
Keep your
affiliated.
ass in the library square.
I will make it clear I am not affiliated with no gang.
But
I stopped throwing up 3 fingers because I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna get
I
shot one
noticed something
day.
really funny is like when Jonathan's about to talk about something, he'll always just like grab the mic.
Well, if I'm turning this way because I want to talk into the mic rather than.
I mean, I'm just glad you're getting closer to the mic. Now I can do less editing with you. So
Oh, my bad.
I just appreciate.
I'll hear
y'all. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Well, you know
what?
you're great, Kyle.
Hey,
Don't lie to
I
him.
try.
Y'all want to drink tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm on.
I got the
fuck it.
kid tonight.
Oh, yeah, you're on antibiotics.
You want to drink?
Yeah.
I got a
want
kid
one?
tonight.
You said
I won't have
what?
a kid tomorrow.
Bring them. But I say, what? You want one?
I'm on some medication.
He's on
for my-
everything.
It's gonna be that much
He's
better.
on syrup,
ain't gonna work.
painkillers.
Speaking of drinking,
What?
we need to be drinking in DreamCon.
Ooh,
I mean, that's already. I got cases
We are.
already down there.
I got a bottle of champagne ready for us,
They already been
guys.
sent.
Yes, we are less than 1 month away. We're actually like a couple weeks.
knock
Yeah, a
dust
couple
off.
A couple weeks. We had some problems with our Airbnb.
man.
Speaking of, everybody pay Alex.
I already
Yeah, I was
paid
gonna
him.
say, I don't know
I
who-
already paid him.
I was like, I don't know who paid that, but I need
I'm good.
I paid.
But
you
but we gonna be there in
Can I pay you
Dallas,
with the
y'all.
non-fungible token?
Paying some Bitcoin.
Yeah. You pay. Shit, market is down. Now,
I got
so.
like an NFT of a champagne bottle.
I
Can
was
I
gonna
pay
say,
you with the
worth a lot.
Newtonian fudge torpedo?
fuck y'all.
It's worth a lot.
Can I pay you in some sex?
Yes.
You're so serious.
You hear about the guy that got super gonorrhea because he had unprotected sex with
hold on, wait,
a sex worker in like
There's super
Cambodia or
gonorrhea?
something.
No.
Yes.
Nah, that
This
ain't
is
it.
resistant to like
Super
all
gonorrhea.
antibiotics.
Because people aren't finishing their courses of antibiotics.
And I'm like, who would have
Interesting.
unprotected sex with a sex worker in Cambodia?
Yeah.
Who? Who would
The All
think
Boys
that?
Podcast.
Let's find out right now.
But we're gonna be a
Me in
drink
Cambodia, you know,
We got an
Cambodian
Airbnb.
women, man.
There's gonna be parties. There's gonna be
No more parties
hangouts.
in LA.
Cause those one of the girls you was all the women you was messing with.
The wild women.
Got choked up.
We gonna be streaming.
Yes.
We gonna be creaming.
I knew you was gonna.
I don't know about that, but
I'm gonna be dreaming. Oh yeah.
at DreamCon, July 14th to the 17th, we're gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there on the
have fun.
13th.
Where?
You're gonna be on the 13th, really?
Yeah, I'm driving down early.
Hey, go for it.
Sleep in the car for a night.
Go for it. With your girl?
Yeah,
All right.
you gonna sightsee the city,
Roughing and
do all
toughing.
kinds of cute shit,
I ain't mad at that.
and then open up the sunroof and look at the sky.
But if you guys are going to be at DreamCon and you actually listening to the show, we thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to be there doing the show live. We actually have a panel, All Points Podcast, live for the adults only. We're trying to get some exclusive stuff for you. Maybe not NFTs, but
Yeah.
we're trying to have some fancy for you guys. We just don't
Maybe
want to
some
go there
NFTs.
and talk to you.
Yeah.
But we want to have something. We're definitely going to be playing the Big Black Sack. We're going to be in the downtown area, probably playing the Big Black Sack. Hopefully the weather's nice. You know, our Hoochie Daddy shorts, kneecaps going to be showing all weekend. And yeah, come hang out with us. Check out our Facebook, check out our Twitter, check out our Instagram, check out our YouTube, and our TikTok. You guys got anything else?
Buy the merch.
We ain't got merch, but we're working on it. Actually, we're working on it.
I said buy the
Jonathan,
merch,
You said
tax the church.
you said your girl can make some shirts.
I ain't say shit.
Oh, all right. They must not be having a good time right now. But when we get some merch, buy the merch.
I already told them.
Anything else you guys want to say?
I think that's it.
Vote
So-
August 2nd.
So I'm gonna say it right now. This is A2.
So Sam, aka Supreme Squirt.
This is Kyle.
Jonathan the Great.
Mailbox Money Midwest.
And we
Out of here.
Peace.